all the living and non-living things in an area. Environment. The environment is everything around us, including both living things like plants and animals and non-living things like air and water. Imagine trying to organize your kitchen, where you have to find the right place for pots, pans, spices, and utensils, all while ensuring there's enough space for everything to function smoothly. This is similar to how an environment works, where all the living and non-living things in an area must coexist and interact in a balanced way. Just like how pots and utensils need to be organized to create an efficient kitchen space, plants, animals, water, and sunlight in an environment must be arranged and interact harmoniously to maintain a healthy ecosystem. All the living and non-living things interacting in an area. Ecosystem. An ecosystem is like a community where plants, animals, and non-living things like water and rocks all work together. Imagine trying to organize a chaotic family gathering where each member has different needs and preferences. This is similar to how an ecosystem functions, with various living organisms and non-living elements interacting in a specific area. Just as you might balance Aunt Mary's preference for quiet with the kids' need for play space, an ecosystem balances the needs of plants, animals, water, and sunlight to maintain harmony. All the organisms of the same species living in the same area. Population. In science, a population is a group of the same species living together in one place. Imagine trying to manage a group chat where all your friends are discussing where to meet up for dinner. Just like how you need to coordinate with everyone in the chat to ensure everyone ends up at the same restaurant, a population consists of all the organisms of the same species living in the same area, interacting and functioning together. In this analogy, each friend in the group chat represents an individual organism. The group chat itself is the specific area they all inhabit, and their goal of meeting for dinner mirrors how populations interact and thrive within their ecosystem. Populations that live in the same habitat. Community. In science, a community is a group of different species living together and interacting in the same area. Imagine trying to coordinate a big neighborhood block party where every family brings a different dish. Just like each family at the party contributes something unique to the event, different species within a habitat contribute various roles and resources to the ecosystem. Each family is like a different species, and their dishes represent the diverse roles and contributions they make to the community, ensuring the party or ecosystem is vibrant and functional. The place where an organism lives. Habitat. A habitat is the natural home where plants and animals live and find everything they need to survive. Imagine trying to find the perfect apartment that suits all your needs and preferences in a bustling city. Just like how you need a place that fits your lifestyle, budget, and daily routines, an organism needs a habitat that provides the right conditions for its survival, growth, and reproduction. In this analogy, the apartment represents the habitat. Your needs and preferences are akin to the organism's survival requirements, and the city is the broader environment where both you and the organism must navigate to find that perfect spot. Organism that can make its own food, like all plants. Producer. A producer is a living thing that makes its own food through processes like photosynthesis. Imagine you're running late for work and realize you forgot your lunch at home. This situation is similar to how producers in nature, like plants, never have to worry about such a problem because they make their own food. Just as you might wish you could whip up a meal from thin air to avoid being hungry, plants use sunlight to produce their own sustenance through photosynthesis, ensuring they're always fed no matter where they are. Unlike a plant cannot make its own food, Instead, it eats other living things. Consumer. In science, a consumer is an organism that obtains energy by eating other organisms. Imagine you're trying to fix a broken appliance at home, but you lack the necessary tools. This situation is similar to the way some consumers in nature, such as animals, cannot produce their own food and must rely on eating other living organisms to obtain energy. Just as you need to borrow or buy tools to complete the repair, these consumers must borrow or acquire energy by consuming other plants or animals. In both scenarios, there is a dependency on external resources to fulfill a need. You need tools to fix your appliance, and consumers need other living things to obtain their energy. An animal that eats only plants. Herbivore. Herbivores are animals that get their energy and nutrients by consuming plants. Imagine trying to pick a meal at a restaurant where you only eat vegetarian dishes. This is similar to the dietary choices of a herbivore, an animal that eats only plants. Just as you navigate the menu to find plant-based options that fit your diet, a herbivore navigates its environment to find suitable plant foods. Both are selective processes focused on plant-based nourishment. An animal that only eats other animals. Carnivore. A carnivore is an animal that predominantly consumes the flesh of other animals for its diet. Imagine you're at a party, and all the delicious party snacks are only desserts, but you really crave savory food. This situation is similar to a carnivore's diet because just as you are seeking something specific that isn't present, a carnivore specifically hunts for other animals to eat, ignoring plant-based options. In this analogy, your craving for savory food represents the carnivore's need for meat, and the absence of savory snacks at the party mirrors how carnivores bypass plants in favor of animal prey to fulfill their dietary needs. An organism that breaks down dead organisms and waste, like fungi or bacteria. Decomposers are organisms that recycle nutrients by breaking down dead material. Imagine you're cleaning out your refrigerator and you find leftovers that have gone bad. Just like you break down and dispose of these spoiled foods to make space for fresh groceries, decomposers like fungi and bacteria break down dead organisms and waste in nature. In both scenarios, the process of breaking down and clearing out the old to make room for the new is essential. You are the decomposer of your fridge, while fungi and bacteria do the same for the ecosystem, ensuring it remains clean and balanced. The role an animal or plant plays in its habitat. Niche. A niche is like a species' job or role in its environment, including how it gets food and interacts with other organisms. Imagine you are in charge of planning a big family reunion where each person has a specific task to ensure the event runs smoothly. Just like every family member has a role, whether it's bringing food, organizing games, or setting up tables, every animal or plant in a habitat has a specific role, known as its niche. The connection here is that just as the success of the family reunion depends on everyone fulfilling their assigned duties, the balance and health of an ecosystem rely on each organism performing its unique role, such as pollinating plants, decomposing organic matter, or being a primary food source for others. The food energy transfer between organisms in an ecosystem. Food chain. A food chain is a sequence that shows how each living thing gets its energy by eating another organism in an ecosystem. Have you ever played the game of passing a message down a line of people, only to find that the message changes slightly with each person? This is similar to how energy is transferred through a food chain in an ecosystem, where energy starts with the sun and is passed from one organism to another, changing form along the way. Just as the original message gets altered as it moves from person to person, the energy from the sun gets transformed from sunlight to plant matter to herbivore muscle and so on, illustrating how energy changes form as it moves through the food chain. An animal hunted and eaten by a predator. Prey. In science, prey is an organism that is targeted and consumed by another organism, known as the predator, for food. Imagine you are at a busy buffet, trying to grab your favorite dish before it's all gone. Just like how you navigate the crowd and reach for the plate quickly before someone else snatches it, prey animals constantly have to be on the move, aware of predators ready to catch them. In both scenarios, there's a pursuit. In the buffet, it's your quest for food before others grab it, while in the wild, it's a predator's pursuit of prey, each striving to succeed in their environment. An animal that hunts and eats other animals. Predator. In science, a predator is an animal that captures and feeds on other animals. Imagine you're trying to find a parking spot in a crowded shopping mall during the holiday season. Just like a predator scanning its environment for prey, you navigate the lanes, searching for an elusive open space to claim. In this scenario, you're the predator. The parking spots are your prey, and the crowded parking lot is your hunting ground, where success depends on your ability to spot and seize an opportunity quickly. A model of overlapping food chains in an ecosystem. Food web. A food web is a network of interconnected food chains showing how different organisms feed on each other in an ecosystem. Imagine trying to manage a group chat where everyone is talking to each other at once, sharing information and making plans. This chaotic yet interconnected conversation is similar to a food web in an ecosystem, where various plants and animals interact in a complex network of feeding relationships. Just as each person in the group chat contributes to the overall flow of conversation, each species in a food web plays a role in the ecosystem, with their interactions overlapping and influencing one another, much like messages bouncing between group members to create a dynamic and interconnected dialogue. The diagram of energy loss through a food chain. Energy pyramid. An energy pyramid is a graphical representation that shows how energy decreases as it flows through different levels of a food chain. Imagine you're trying to keep a series of candles lit in a windy room. Each candle represents a step in the process of energy transfer, where the wind is like the inefficiency in energy transfer within a food chain. Just as you lose some flame to the wind with each candle you try to light, energy is lost at each trophic level in the energy pyramid, from producers to consumers. The wind symbolizes the natural inefficiencies where only a portion of the energy is passed on at each level, much like how only a fraction of the flame reaches each subsequent candle, highlighting the diminishing energy available as you move up the food chain. Adding harmful substances to the land, water, or air. Pollution. It is when unwanted chemicals or trash harm our environment. Imagine you're trying to have a conversation at a loud party where everyone is shouting over each other. Just like how the noise makes it difficult for you to hear and communicate, pollution adds harmful substances to the land, water, or air, disrupting the natural balance. In this analogy, the loud voices at the party are like pollutants, overwhelming the environment, your ability to hear and communicate, and making it difficult for nature to function properly. Can eat both plants and animals. Omnivore. An omnivore is an animal that consumes both plants and animal matter as part of its diet. Imagine you're deciding what to have for dinner, and you're torn between ordering a vegetable stir fry or a juicy steak. This dilemma is similar to how an omnivore operates, as it has the flexibility to choose between eating plants or animals, much like your choice between vegetarian or meat options. Just as you can enjoy both a salad and a steak in a single meal, an omnivore's diet includes both plant-based and animal-based foods, allowing it to thrive in a variety of environments and situations. The scattering of plant seeds. Seed dispersal. Seed dispersal is the process by which seeds are spread from the parent plant to new locations to grow. Imagine trying to spread rumors or news throughout a large group of people at a party. Just like you rely on telling a few people who then pass the information to others to ensure everyone hears the news, plants rely on seed dispersal to spread their seedzoid area to ensure growth in new locations. In this analogy, you are like the plant, the news is like the seed, and the people at the party are the dispersal agents, showing that both rumor spreading and seed dispersal depend on reaching as many new areas or individuals as possible for success. The process by which plants use sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to make food. Photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, plants take sunlight and turn it into energy to grow. Imagine you're trying to cook dinner, but you only have raw ingredients and no recipe. Just like how you need to gather and transform these ingredients into a meal using a recipe, plants gather sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to create their own food through photosynthesis. In this analogy, the raw ingredients are like the sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water, while the recipe that guides the transformation into a delicious meal is akin to the process of photosynthesis itself. A very small organism that can only be seen with a microscope, like bacteria, microorganism. A microorganism is a tiny living thing, like bacteria or fungi, that you need a microscope to see. Imagine trying to find your misplaced keys in a cluttered room. Just as you need to sift through and focus on the tiny details among the mess to spot the keys, scientists use microscopes to see microorganisms like bacteria amidst the vastness of the unseen world. The connection is that both scenarios require tools and techniques to identify and focus on something small and elusive within a larger, overwhelming context. Close to becoming extinct, endangered. An endangered species is one that is at serious risk of disappearing forever. Imagine trying to maintain a group chat with friends where everyone gradually stops responding. This situation is similar to the concept of being endangered, because just like the dwindling participation in your chat, an endangered species is facing a decline in population and activity that threatens its existence. In both scenarios, whether it's your group chat or a species, the lack of engagement or individuals leads to the risk of completely losing that connection or species, highlighting the critical point where action is needed to prevent the disappearance of something once vibrant and active. The gas found in air and water that most plants and animals need to live. Oxygen. Oxygen is a colorless gas that is essential for breathing and supports life on Earth. Imagine you're at a crowded concert and you need to find your way to the exit when the show is over. Just as finding the exit is essential for smoothly leaving the venue, oxygen is essential for plants and animals to sustain life. In this analogy, the exit represents oxygen, and just as you need to navigate through the crowd to reach it, living organisms rely on oxygen in the air and water to maintain their vital processes, ensuring their survival and well-being.